Hey geeks, welcome to my channel. I'm Trey Guillotine, and today I'm talking about the possibility of Marvel finally crossing over TV and film. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it around so others can join the conversation. And if you have any questions for this month's Q&A, ask them right here in the comments or on any of my social media. Let's geek out. So last week in my Geekly Trends, I talked a lot about the possibility of Disney buying Fox Entertainment. They were also going to take all of their titles from Netflix and any other TV station and move them under the one umbrella of their Disney streaming service. In doing that, they said that it will give them an easier time of crossing over Marvel movies and TV shows. If this deal happens, it won't be for a while, as even right now the talks between Fox and Disney are for whatever reason stalled. But let's go ahead and take a step back and assume that, one, this deal is going to happen, that all the TV shows and all of the Marvel movies are going to be under the flagship of Disney's new streaming service. Let's also assume that it's going to happen as the Marvel Cinematic Universe is right now. If it does happen, it's not going to be for a while, most likely after the Infinity War phase, and we don't even know what the Marvel Universe is going to look like after that. These are the three big crossovers that I think need to happen and I would like to see happen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. First being the reintroduction of S.H.I.E.L.D. Throughout Phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Coulson were kind of the continuity of the universe. They were what brought all of the different titles in the Marvel Universe together. But because of disagreements on the production side of Marvel, they basically banished S.H.I.E.L.D. out of the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe, and just giving its own tiny little show on ABC. I think that needs to change, and I'm not specifically talking about bringing Agent Coulson or Agent May or Daisy Johnson into the MCU, as much as I would love to see all of the characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. involved in the greater events of the MCU. I'm specifically talking about just the organization and the idea of bringing S.H.I.E.L.D. back into the structure of the MCU. I think S.H.I.E.L.D. works best as a kind of support system for the Avengers and the Defenders and all of the heroes within the MCU. They're in the background for information, for support, for communications. Right now, Tony Stark is kind of the support for at least the Avengers. And maybe bringing S.H.I.E.L.D. back in, Tony Stark could run S.H.I.E.L.D., as he's always kind of on the fence about whether he wants to stay as Iron Man or if he just wants to be kind of a peripheral support participant. He's being just kind of a non-combatant with the Avengers. And if Tony Stark took over this new S.H.I.E.L.D., I think S.H.I.E.L.D. would be the ideal police for the Sokovia Accords, bringing back the list of enhanced individuals on Earth, and basically policing to make sure all of these enhanced individuals operate under the laws of the Sokovia Accords. Because obviously we've seen that the Secretary of State Ross and the just government of the world aren't exactly doing great with the Sokovia Accords when they first started. So I think S.H.I.E.L.D., since that's kind of what they were doing before, but not enforcing the Sokovia Accords, but enforcing the protection and restraint of enhanced individuals throughout the world, that's kind of what they were doing before. So adding them to be the Sokovia Accords police, I think would make a lot of sense. Now, speaking of heroes that would be working outside of the Sokovia Accords, I think the next big crossover has to do with Captain America and Team Cap from Civil War. At this point in time, they're pretty much just on the run from the world government. Hopefully they're not all just spending their days on the beaches of Wakanda. I don't know if Wakanda has beaches, but I imagine staying in Wakanda, it looks pretty nice. So it'd kind of be like a resort vacation for them. Hopefully that's not what they're doing. They're actually out in the world working underground to protect citizens. I would like to see their time underground and what that looks like. Ideally, I think this would be a great crossover to bring Captain America and Team Cap into the realm of the Defenders, as that's where Captain America would have to operate, on street level. He wouldn't have the backing of the Avengers or the backing of any form of government, so having the Avengers with their limited resources would be a boon for Captain America and the rest of the exiled Avengers. Now, being on the street level, specifically, while this isn't particularly a Defender, I would like to see a meeting between the Punisher and Captain America. I would love to see this meeting in maybe a future season of Defenders or a future Captain America Underground movie, however they would want to do it. Both being very devout military men, they would at least have a lot in common and a lot to discuss. So I really think that meeting could be a really interesting thing to see in the MCU. Speaking of Avengers meeting Defenders, there is one specific Avenger that I really think needs to meet the Defenders, and that's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the street-level Avenger. As much as he is an Avenger and he is doing bigger things like fighting off Vulture's gang from stealing Stark tech or helping Team Iron Man fight Team Cap, he is very much a street-level hero, and we saw that in Spider-Man Homecoming. He's stopping muggings, he's helping old ladies navigate their way through New York, he's getting cats out of trees. He's literally on the street. Maybe not literally because he swings from a web in the air, but he's on the street doing very small street crime. The same as Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. So I do think Spider-Man, and even Doctor Strange, who is also in New York, who is more or less a street-level hero, even if he's an interdimensional street-level hero, I really want to see Spider-Man and maybe even Doctor Strange working with the Defenders, but specifically bringing Spider-Man into the realm of the Defenders would also put Spider-Man up against one of his bigger villains, that being Wilson Fisk, which even Vincent D'Onofrio has said that he wants the Kingpin to go against Spider-Man, and I would love to see that. For me, the Kingpin was always a Spider-Man villain. I was first introduced to the Kingpin in the Spider-Man cartoon, where the Kingpin was a major villain. And it could even elevate above street level, as the Kingpin is kind of like borderline street level villain to supervillain, at least where his money is concerned. But it'd be great to see Spider-Man working with the likes of Daredevil or Luke Cage or any of the Defenders. I think it would be a really entertaining dynamic where they have these very adult and mature heroes, and then they have the 15-year-old Spider-Man helping them out. All of these crossovers and connections are mere speculation on my part. It's not even speculation, it's more hopeful thinking in the possibility that Disney does buy Fox and then brings all of their Marvel TV shows under the umbrella of the Disney streaming service. If this deal happens, it won't be for a while. It definitely won't be till after Infinity War, where we don't even know what the Marvel Universe landscape would look like. But these are simply 3 things I would love to see if crossovers are made a thing and they're able to bring back the hashtag It's All Connected. When you're planning your next Wizard World Comic-Con experience, make sure to use the discount code GuillotineGeek online to get 10% off your ticket purchase, and use those savings to buy some merch or meet a celebrity. What are some of your ideas for crossovers within the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Let me know in the comments and follow me on all the internets. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it around so others can join the conversation. You can check out my written reviews of video games and entertainment at guillotinegeek.blogspot.com, and you can subscribe to my channel to geek out some more. Thanks for watching and have fun.